when will be the best time to buy a car, Dad, this year? We need your wisdom. We need your knowledge. Let's break it down by the different types of vehicles, purchase processes, all that fun stuff.
Okay, used car. Very well might be the best time to buy a used car right now. And the reason that we say that is because interest rates are going up. There's a softening of demand in used cars, so there's a greater likelihood of being to negotiate the price, the asking price that the dealership has the used car listed for. So if you can negotiate the price and get it at today's lower interest rate than what tomorrow's higher interest rate is going to be, it very well might be the best time to buy a used car now.
What if I'm a cash buyer?
Then I would wait. The best time typically has always been the last week of the year between Christmas and New Year's, whether it be for new cars or used cars. Dealerships work themselves into a frenzy the last month of the year to hit monthly, yearly goals that they have set, both for new car sales and pre-owned car sales. Salespeople have monthly and annual sales goals they want to hit, both for new car sales and used car sales. And manufacturers have goals that they want to hit for the current year. And so they tend to offer their highest incentives, customer incentives, and dealership incentives during the last month of the year.
All right, I want to try and keep this structured though. So I want to hit on used cars a little bit longer. So Are you saying that the end of the year is the right time if you're a cash buyer for a used car? Because if you do, I would challenge that, and I would say pre-spring selling season of next year.
Well, either the last week of the year, and if you can't make a deal the last week of the year, either January or February will be the slowest sales month of the year for every dealership out there. And so when there are no customers coming into the store in January or February, there's a tendency that when somebody does come in, that a dealership will work a little bit harder to try and make a deal so that they can, actually say they sold something that day.
And to be very clear, we've seen wholesale and retail used car prices falling in 2022, the latter half of 2022. Mm-hmm. Everyone we've talked to, including the experts over at Black Book, who look at this data and share it with financial institutions, et cetera, they're saying spring selling season of next year, which is like March, maybe when we see used car prices stop their weekly declines. Mm-hmm. It's a good indicator then if you're a cash buyer, if you don't have to worry about rising interest rates, yeah, that'd be a good time to buy. Be like Mark and start saving hundreds of dollars on your maintenance and repairs, or like Rich, who saved thousands annually on his insurance. Simply join YAA Plus, the only membership that saves you money on all things auto. Head to joinyaa.com/plans and use the code YouTube to save 20%. All right, you were just hitting on a moment ago, new car incentives, because to be clear, manufacturers don't incentivize the purchase of used cars, at least not typically.
Sometimes they do with CPOs.
Certified pre-owned.
With specialized subvented interest rates.
Yep. So outside of that exception, let's talk about new cars. I am a finance purchasing new car buyer. Do I do it today? Do I do it tomorrow?
No, you do it the last week of the year. Literally do it after Christmas and before New Year's.
All right.
Okay. That week is traditionally one of the biggest weeks, if not the biggest sales week at every dealership. It just, people have gotten some Christmas money. They go out, they want to get a car before the end of the year. Dealerships are advertising sales. Manufacturers are advertising sales and incentives. It's the time. There is an absolute frenzy within the dealership, a frenzy amongst the customers and a frenzy amongst the salespeople and the sales managers to hit their goals for the year. On January 1st, there are oftentimes a dealer will turn around and say to some sales managers, what were you thinking? And it's just because the sales manager got caught up in the frenzy of it all that they ended up taking a deal that they normally would not have taken. But the fact that they took it when things were just going nuts, it doesn't matter because it's just a unit at that point.
And let's be really clear. The video we just did the other day about Ford's third quarter earnings and public auto dealers, their third quarter earnings, we see it. It's very clear. There is a slowdown happening in the auto industry, which means this is not like, I'm not saying anything wrong here. The books are typically cooked when it comes to how many cars are sold. Like, go look up the story about BMW. They got caught by the SEC. Yeah. Others have as well. The reason I bring that up, Dad, is if there's an economic slowdown, a slowdown in profits for these automakers and these dealers, they're going to do everything in their power to have a strong fourth quarter and buck that trend, which will lead to incentives, which we've already seen come back in pretty full effect, and also deal making from the dealership.
And we're also seeing inventories, new car inventories, move up slightly, but they're
and more than slightly
growing.
For I mean GM's inventory
is 3 times what it was in the third quarter a year ago. So we're seeing inventory levels creep up. We'll see incentives creep back up only because interest rates are going up and inflation has been rearing its ugly head. So I think the fourth quarter we will see more incentives. The last week of the year should be a banner week to buy a car.
All right, and let's hit on this really briefly as well, Dad. Interest rates impact used car purchase decisions more than new car because on the new car side, if you've got decent credit, you'll probably be able to get some sort of subvented rate. Is that a fair and accurate statement?
As you know, the manufacturers will either buy down an interest rate to keep you interested in buying a car, or they will offer a cash rebate, or they might offer both, one or the other. And most people will opt, since 86% of all customers are finance customers, cash are payment buyers. Most people will opt for the cheaper interest rate.
All right, then another question or thought I want to posit with you. If you end up not buying your new or used car on that last week of the year, it's not like everything goes to hell come January and February. You can still, like our expectation, my expectation, especially on the used car side, you can still get a deal then. Interest rates will just be higher. And on the new car side, there will still be new car incentives at the end of January and at the end of February. They just won't be as aggressive as they were at the end of the year.
They typically go down starting in January. Okay, because they know that there won't be, there's not as many people on the market in January because they kind of stole those people. January sales, they kind of stole those and forced them into December. So will there still be some deals? Yes, but they won't be nearly as aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, I just don't want to paint a picture of like doom and gloom. You got to do it. You got to do it. You'll still be fine. It's just a better deal. And another factor we haven't talked about, selling your car / the trade-in. Since wholesale used car prices are going down so quickly, the sooner you sell your car, the better. This is why back at joinYAA.com/sell, we have the widget where you can get offers from all the dealers in our network in your area. No spam, no BS like that, but like what the actual cash offer would be. So you can compare that to whatever the trade-in would be from the dealership. Doing that sooner is advantageous than later. So another reason why before the end of the year makes sense rather than waiting till like February of next year. Your trade-in, your sale value is going to be lower in February than it is right now.
Your trade-in value is going to be lower tomorrow than it was today.
All right, Pops. Thanks for making us all more knowledgeable.
I don't know that I did that, but I tried.